Hello everyone, welcome back to TECEMBER Day 6. We're almost done with my full week of videos. I hope you've been enjoying the past content. And now we have another special guest on my channel, Grace. I literally love her so much. So today we're going to be talking about ways to help students that come from a different cultural background than us as future educators, or if you are an educator yourself already. So let's get right into the video. Introduce yourself?
So I'm Grace and I'm from Malaysia. I'm a senior majoring in early childhood education.
For sure. And we've been taking most of our classes together and been on this long journey to get our degrees, and we both graduate in May. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So what experience have you had in the classroom so far?
Yeah, so I have taught children with special needs in an early intervention program for a year and a half. And that was
in Malaysia, right?
That was in Malaysia,
okay.
Yes. And I also have some experience being a classroom teacher in an international school.
Nice. And then you have practicum, internships, all that stuff here, so you have a lot of experience.
Yes, different culture experience for sure.
Nice. What was your favorite experience or favorite part about being in the classroom?
My favorite part being in a classroom is being friends with my children. And I think the fun part, I myself is a English learner, so I think the best part is learning English and pronunciation from the children. So it has been fun learning from them, and they are very blunt. So they kind of like pinpoint my pronunciation and saying things like, "Miss Grace, this is not how you pronounce it. You should say it this way," and they will help me out like throughout. So I really appreciate little kids, because they're just so honest and just so fun.
So innocent, so pure. And the thing is, as educators, like, we can learn from them as well. I feel like some teachers, they have this mindset that, oh, I'm a teacher, I know everything, and that's not always the case, because like you said, we're still growing, we're still learning as well. So to be able for them to pick that up, like, they're super blunt, but that's like the fun of joy of working with children, that they do pick that type of stuff up. So that's amazing that you're open and receptive to that, because we're all learning, you know?
Yes, we teachers, we are learners.
Yeah, for sure, lifelong learners.
Yeah.
What has been the most challenging part through your experiences in the classroom?
Yeah, I think the most challenging part is I know I have to be patient with my children, but I'm impatient with them. So that's that finding the patience and the understanding that, okay, these are my children and I'm their teacher and I'm educating them, I'm nurturing them. So
sometimes, like, patience is hard, especially when you have to repeat directions multiple times and they're still not getting it, or even like a concept, like you've taught this multiple times and reteach it, but still they're not getting it. So having that patience can be challenging as well. So I feel like we all experience that, especially for the most difficult students. We just have to, like, God was patient with us, like being patient with them and extending that grace and patience. We talked about that in a bunch of other TECEMBER videos as well, so that was a good one. Cool. Now we're going to get to the topic of this video, now that we know a lot more about Grace and her teaching experience. When teaching students from different cultural backgrounds, what should we be doing as teachers?
Yeah, as teachers, if you have children from different backgrounds in your classroom, I think the first thing to do is to get to know them. And before they even come into our classroom, we want to do a kind of like a background check. Do research, because that's how you know about the culture and the backgrounds of the child. You know, for example, I'm a Malaysian. So you want to Google research, like, where I'm from and what's the culture, what's the culture of this specific people group. Is it
for sure? And like, we don't know where our students are going to come from, especially because America is so diverse. If they're from Malaysia, Russia, China, Japan, like, what are their culture, what are their norms there? Because if you have a student that pops into your classroom, you have to know, like, what may be culturally acceptable there may not be culturally acceptable here, and vice versa. So getting to know their culture, like, even in our class we talked about how sometimes like pointing your finger, like that may be disrespectful in another culture, and teachers, we do it all the time.
Yeah.
So just being aware of those.
Yeah. So, and then the second point is, after doing a research, when you get to know your kids, we don't want to overgeneralize the culture. We don't want to like make an assumption, oh, this is what I found on Google, and then this is what it's like for the child, because the child, he or she has her own upbringing in the family, so it's gonna be different. Does it make sense? You're welcome to paraphrase it.
No, for sure. Overgeneralizing, I feel like for anything is terrible.
Yeah.
When we overgeneralize, sometimes we miss like the personalized of that student. I mean, the personalization of that student. Everybody's different. Like, especially me as African American, not all African Americans grew up the same way. So even for like as a Malaysian student, not all Malaysians grew up the same way. So just being able to, like you said, get to know your student and get to know how they are raised and how their parents are and their family home structure is crucial.
Yep. Thank you. And the third point is being curious, ask questions, and build relationship, because that's why we're here for them. You know, as we have the relationship, be friends with them, they will slowly open up themselves to us.
Yeah, and I feel like that's with anybody, especially with different backgrounds. Like, if we don't know, like, we don't know what we don't know. So you don't know where that student came from, what their home life was like. And I feel like if we don't ask questions, like, our fallback is assuming this is because it's portrayed on TV, or just bring all these preconceived notions in our head, when really that might be the total opposite of how the student is. So getting to know the student in your classroom is important, and overgeneralizing in general can get us in trouble. So I feel like, just knowing who your students are. Thank you.
You're so helpful. All right, the fourth one is I would say be encouraging, because your daily encouragements definitely will encourage us to keep going, to keep learning. Because that's my experience of being encouraged has helped me to stay motivated in my learning. So I believe that with my children in my classroom, it goes the same.
Encouragement for anybody. And learning is tough for anybody, and I feel like, especially because we'll be teaching primary grades, like if a student finds it challenging, specifically learning English, if I only know one language, and English is hard for me, let alone somebody who has multiple different languages in their head. And this is like a good point to talk about, like how when students come into our classroom, they like literally it's completely foreign to them. So just being patient and letting them know, like, you can do this, you can learn this, and even maybe a simple smile, like our nonverbals says so much to a student.
I agree.
You could tell, like, off of vibes, like, are you welcoming, are you not welcoming, or are you treating me like a foreigner, or that I don't know English, so then there's like an outcast, and that's a whole nother topic that we can get into.
Exactly. And if possible, like, find out their love language. Like, some kids, they love getting compliments. Some of them, their love language is physical touch, gifts, encouragement notes. Like, I personally, my love language is words of affirmation and smile. So you give me a smile, I'll give you like my brightest smile. So moving on, the last one is to celebrate success. So giving encouragement, helping them to keep going, knowing that you are there for them, and then when they succeed, celebrate it. Because when a teacher acknowledge their success, that means the world to students.
Acknowledging success, I love that point, because you could be working so hard at something and feel like you're not seen. And especially, they might not get that celebratory or encouragement at home. So, okay, you said one English word today, like, that's pretty good. Or you said a whole sentence. Wow, little Johnny, you can write a whole sentence. Especially in first grade, they're like that pumps them up and wants them to continue learning and have those little success, whether that may be talking, writing, reading, whatever they at, or wherever they may be at in their language learning level when learning English is huge for teachers. And I feel like that builds on that relationship too. Like, hey, you see me, so I'm going to do more, or like want to be seen even more. Like, you don't have no idea what that child is going through. So being able to celebrate those success, or even writing them, like, they get to go to a treasure box, or you wrote a note and say, hey, like, I saw you do this, and that means the world to them. So thank you for your points. Those are really good. We can use those tactical in the classroom, and just to get a feel for English language learners, as well for our students, and then you personally being one as a teacher. So I have one last question for you. What is one thing that you wish like teachers knew about English language learners or just people from different cultures?
Yeah, I think one takeaway from this whole conversation is, as teachers, we want to have confidence in our students. When you have the confidence in your students in that they can learn, they can succeed in their learning, that they can do it, they will stay motivated and they will strive for their teachers. You know, because they know that, oh, my teacher, he or she trusts that I can learn. So I'll try my very best to learn and work hard to get there. Does it make sense?
Yeah, for sure. The belief, like if you know somebody believes in you, it's like, wow, it's not only doing it for me, but for my teacher. If she believes I can do it, then I should believe I can do it. And sometimes, like, I don't know if you heard this quote before, like nobody's gonna believe in you until you believe in yourself. But it's like for especially elementary school students, they don't know what belief is, but just to feel that, hey, you can encourage them to do that, and it's like, hey, she thinks I could do this, so maybe I really can do this. And you have no idea. I think our teacher said in class just the other day, like, you have, like, our students will perform to the levels that we expect them to, like having high expectations for our students.
Expectation, love it, yes.
And then how much, like, you have, like, students will blow your mind. If you set that expectation, they will most likely meet it and exceed it, to be honest.
Because you trust me, so I will try to meet your expectation because there's that trust, confidence, and belief.
For sure. Oh, I can have conversations with you all day long. But we dropped a lot of good nuggets for you guys. So thank you so much, Grace, for coming from my channel.
You're welcome.
And then for you guys for watching all my TECEMBER videos, they will be linked up in the card, so you can click on them and watch the previous videos or my previous special guests. But that is all that we have for you guys today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you are a future educator or in your studies of being an educator, let us know what you like to do to connect with your students from different cultural backgrounds and how you make them feel welcome in your classroom. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow for TECEMBER Day 7.